Welcome back, guys, to day 5. Let's get started. We're going to jump right into it. We got 2 pods of 5 exercises. We're going to go 3 rounds in each pod for a total of 30 minutes. Today, if you have a step, if you have a chair, if you have a wall, anything like that, you'll see how I set up the chair today. We're going to do some wall sits, but obviously a wall is the best, a door, anything you have available, and then just a little bit of weight, just for a few exercises here. Make sure you have a little bit of room to spread out, and let's get started. So I'm going to start just a quad pull, reach back, grab, and reach straight up. A little bit of dynamic warm up here, get ourselves going a bit, get the blood flowing, loosen up those joints a bit, get the body ready to move. The dynamic warm-up, you should be not sweating necessarily, but at the end of it, you should feel pretty warm. If you need a little more, feel free to take it, pause the video, do whatever you need. Maybe you need a little more than the day before. Let's go ahead and bend down, brush some baby makers, get as low as you can. If this is only here, that's totally fine. Push those knees out, open up the hips, sink down in as low as you can go. Arms up as you stand up. So go one more. Here, sink down real low. Pull the toes if you want. Rock back and forth a couple times. Stand up, last one. Sink down again. If you can only get to here, that's fine. Work on your range of motion. Just kind of sink down as far as you can. Breathe into it. You should feel it all in your hips here. Again, straight back up. Let's get moving here a little bit. Jog it out. Let's just do a little bit of runners here. Start getting the heart rate up, get ready to move. Moving with some purpose today. Every exercise, your core stays tight. Avoiding injury here. If you have any pain along the way, either modify or stop that exercise. I'm not trying to create pain, we're trying to make you feel better here. All right, let's do some jumping jacks and we'll get started. If you want to crisscross at the top, that works. If you wanted to step side to side, a couple options there. Try and get the heart rate up a little bit. Do a few more, 5 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. All right, I started the timer here. First one we got reverse lunge, so you're gonna grab your weights. Go ahead and get ready. Show you from the side first, and we're just stepping straight back. So if you want to go no weight, that's okay. If you do want weight, make sure your chest is staying up and you're driving out of your heel with every rep. So you should be stepping far back enough, your back legs or your back knees just barely off the ground. You're driving out of your stance with your glute, and my front knee doesn't go over my toes. So I'm gonna get my chair ready next and I'll explain. This period, I want you guys to stay active, stay moving a little bit as much as you can. And if this is just side to side steps, walking in place, swinging your arms, the whole point of this whole workout is to keep your heart rate up. Once you get it there, try and keep it up for the whole 30 minutes. So we got toe taps next. So find your step. If it's lower, maybe you just do the weight but you're hopping right in. If you want to do just steps, if you can't take the bounce, just try and move those feet fast. If you are bouncing, it's just a light tap on the top of the weight. So you're pumping your arms, standing on the balls of your feet. To make that harder, we can do faster or we can go higher. So find that sweet spot for you. Again, here we're staying active, we're staying moving. You can get that chair out of the way. Step, whatever it was that you were using. The fire hydrant's next, so we're gonna be on our hands and knees. But for now, we're moving here. Again, if you need a water break, but that's the time to take it. But for now, since this is a one-sided exercise, we're gonna stay completely on one side for this first round. So you want your knee 90 degrees here and just straight out to the side. I don't want you to rotate your whole body to get it up. If you only get up a little bit, it doesn't have to be all the way, but just squeeze the outside of that glute and keep your core tight to keep you from rotating. We're still moving here, moving and grooving. It feels good to work out, doesn't it? We got wall sits next, so I'm gonna show you my rig here. I'm gonna set up. If you have a door or a wall, it's obviously much easier. I'm gonna weight down this chair. Lean against that. Be careful if you are doing it this way, but you want, either way, you want your legs to be 90 degrees. Drive up through your heels. Your toes should almost be off the ground, and you'll feel it more in your quads. So we're just doing a hold. Chest stays up if your back's against the wall. No hands on your knees unless you have to. If you need to come up a little bit, that's okay, but try and stay as low as you can. Get the stuff out of your way. We got inchworms next. So we're still moving here. We're gonna start on one end of our mat, crawl ourselves out into a push-up position. If you wanna take that push-up at the end, make sure your elbows are staying in tight. And as you're crawling out for the inchworm, don't let your hips sway side to side. So I bend, I crawl out, I push up if I want, and then push straight back up, stand up. Bend the knees as much as you need to in order to get your hands down, and then straighten them out as you come forward. Again, the core stays tight. That's one round. We're still moving here. Stay with me. Again, if you need a quick water break here, go ahead and take it. If not, you're right with me. We're moving around. We'll do shuffles here, side to side twist, whatever you want. We got reverse lunge again. So let's go ahead and grab the weights. Show you from the front side this time. So my knee stays straight above my toes. My core is tight. Okay with you looking somewhere on the ground, just not directly in front of you. Look out ahead of you, so it keeps your chest up. And I'm driving out of my heel, which makes me use my glute more as I step up. We got toe taps again next. So again, if you want to make it tougher, speed up your feet or find a higher surface. I'll show you on the chair this time. Get it ready. We're staying on the balls of our feet the whole time. So it's light touch. It's just a little tap on the chair. My chest stays up.
I'm hopping right out of that step with each rep, pumping my arms as I go. If you need to just step it out, that's okay. But try and push yourself as much as you can. We got fire hydrants now. So remember we did one side, now we're doing the other side. So even it out here. The last round, we'll split it 50-50, do our best. I'll let you know when to switch. So again, straight out to the side. My core is not rotating, it stays tight. My hands are under my shoulders. If you can only come up to here, that's perfectly fine. Just squeeze the outside of that glute. There we go. We got wall sit again. So get ready with your door, with your chair, with your wall, whatever you got. Make sure you're doing it safely. It's a little sketchy version I'm doing here. But we don't have any walls in my video shot. So I'm gonna get this right here. All right, you're sitting. Again, we're 90 degrees with our legs, driving through the heels. Our chest is up and my hands are off my legs here. It's a good burn. Sink into it, don't ignore it. It'll thank you afterwards. Your body will thank you. Here we go. Inchworms next. Again, make sure you're not moving your core back and forth. You're not swaying side to side. We're staying one even line up and down, especially with that push-up at the end if you're doing it. If you want to drop to your knees, do a push-up real quick, and then hop right back up. Then your knees reach down, drop, push up, then lift straight off. Keep those cores tight. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Finish out that rep, finish it out. Don't shoot yourself on that last one. If you just started or if you're halfway, make sure you finish off. But we're 2 rounds down already. We're still moving. Maybe your heart rate's getting up a little higher now. Try and keep it there. Try and raise it up maybe a little more with this round. It's the last time through. So we're grabbing our weights for the reverse lunge. My knee's staying out, it's not dropping in with each rep. That's because I'm firing my glute every time. Make sure we're moving under control. We're not flailing our legs around, dipping our bodies side to side. Always controlled movements with purpose. We got toe taps. So maybe you go a little faster, maybe you move a little higher, but push yourself here. It's the last round of these. So give it your full effort. Bounce right out of that step. Chest stays up. I'm not rotating side to side with my core. It stays tight. Light taps on the top. Whew, good work. Good work, good work. Come on. We got fire hydrants, so listen for my cue. We'll switch sides. Go ahead and start with whatever side you started with in the first round, and then we'll hop over to the other side. I'm gonna get going now. Give myself a couple extra reps. Remember, squeezing that tight all the way through. Go ahead and switch sides. Our core staying tight. We're not opening up our hips and rotating our whole torso and staying parallel with the ground. Good work, good work. Come on. 2 more exercises. We're on to pod 2. Stay with me here, people. You showed up today. Let's push ourselves here. I'm gonna get my wall sit apparatus ready here. If you want to start early, let's do it. There's the timer anyway. Remember, we're at as close to 90 degrees as you can get. Driving up through the heels. Should feel that right in your quads. This is the time to relax. Think about your workout. Sink into it. When that time's over, get that stuff out of the way. We got inchworms. Last round here, last exercise of this round. And then we're moving on to the next pod. Don't cheat yourself on the last rep, remember, finish it out. Let's get started. Bend the knees as much as you need to. Push straight, backing up. Your elbows are staying in tight with that push-up, remember. Body's in one plane at the bottom. Good work. On to pod 2 here. All right, I'm going right into pod 2 here. If you need to take a break, feel free. Grab a sip of water real quick. Try not to take longer than a minute though. We got RDLs, so we're gonna grab our weight. Pretty light here. Show you from the side. It's just a slight knee bend, and you're up and down. You don't need to come all the way up, but you should feel tension in the back of your legs the whole time. So we're pulling up with our hips here, not our low back. Really important, if you start to feel anything in your low back, drop the weight, do it without the weight. But you should be keeping your core tight on those and just extending at the hips. We got calf raise next. So if you do have a step or something to hold on to, feel free to use that. I'm just gonna do it on the ground here. Grab our weights again. Remember, when you're grabbing your weights, lift with your legs, not with your back. So high, quick on the way up, slower on the way down. And as soon as we touch the ground, we're right back out. Do our best to balance here. Make sure you're pushing up evenly onto the balls of your feet, not staying on the outside, not pushing up on your big toe too much. There we go. We got a sit to jump next. If you can't do the jump or don't want to do the jump today, I'll show you a variation, but let's try and do some jumps today. So get your chair, get your step, whatever you got ready. We're just gonna sit straight down, explode out. So we're sitting back, and as soon as we touch that chair, we're jumping straight out. Try and stay even. If you need to get a smaller jump, that's okay. Just like that. Slow on the way down, explode out. Soft landings when you come down. So you land back down into that squat. As I land, I sink my butt back, my knees stay out, and then I reset to sit back into the chair again. Hopefully your heart rate's up after that one a little bit. We got a glute bridge next, but we're gonna do it a little differently. A little more hamstring focus. So we're gonna put our heels a little further from us. I'll show you here. My heels are not right under. They're a little further out. But I'm still doing the same glute bridge. If you wanna cross your hands over, my back's touching the ground with every rep, and I'm squeezing my glutes as I come up. You should feel a little more in your hamstrings. If you don't, you can always push it out a little further. Should be only your heels on the ground. Should feel a little more burn the backside of your legs and in your glutes on that one. Still firing those glutes, it's just not as glute heavy. All right, so we have single leg bent over rainbows here. If you have your weight, you can top your weight up forward, or you can use a chair or your step. We're gonna do one side first. So we're bent over, we come up and back, touch the other side. So if you wanna go a little lower, you're gonna feel more in your glute there. But it should be just for balance. You're not using that chair to use it as leverage to get your leg up. So we're just lifting straight up, straight leg the whole time. A little bit of knee bend in that standing leg. And we're just going arching to both sides. But that's one round down already. That's one round down already. Let's keep it moving. Stay with me here. We got 2 more to go. We got RDLs again next. Again, no low back irritation on this at all. If you are, drop the weight. I'll show you from the front this time, about shoulder width apart, slight knee bend, and the weight stays close to my legs. I'm feeling tension in the back of my legs the whole time. I sit my butt straight back and I move up as I bring my hips forward. So my torso is in one line the whole time. My core staying really tight on that one. I really don't want you arching your back, curling your back. If you do start to feel your core go and start to give a little bit, drop the weights, do no weights, you can definitely still feel a good burn with no weight there. We got calf raise next. Bobbing and moving. Stay with me. Here we go. So from the side, I'm up, even on all toes, slower on the way down. Again, if you have a step, you can go a little further down past the plane of the floor. You're gonna feel a little more burn. If you need to hold on to something and just use one weight, that's totally fine too. If not, we can work on our balance there a little bit. We're moving here. We're moving here. We got sit to jump. So get our chairs ready. Remember, we're sitting right back, jumping straight up. Soft landings as we sit right back into the chair. If you need to just do squats, that's okay too. But explode up and slow as you can on the way down. If you want to just do a little jump, whatever you need to do. So push yourself here if you can do the jump. If you are feeling pain in your knees, pain in your back, axe it. We got our glute bridges again next. So we're gonna put our heels real far away from us again. Let's go ahead and lay down here. If you need to put your elbows on the ground for balance, try and work towards keeping them off. If you want to raise your arms, cross your chest, whatever's comfortable. Just remember, you're squeezing those glutes all the way up and down. You should feel a little more in your hamstring. You're not flailing your knees out. You should stay straight the whole time. Come on, baby. Let's do it. We got our rainbows next. Remember, if you did the one side, doing the other side this time. So I'll show you with the weights this time. If you want to turn them up on end like that, and you can use them as balance, just with your fingers there, or straight leg the whole time. A little bit of knee bend in the standing leg, but again, I'm not holding onto the weights. They're just being used to balance as I bring my leg up and straight back down. So I'm bringing it in a full rainbow motion, full arc as far as I can to both directions. You may feel a lot of glute burn in that standing leg as well. We got one round left. Stay with me, stay with me. Best round of the day right here. Last one. Empty out the tank. Got RDLs. Maybe start to pick it up here a little bit in these active rests. Let's grab our weight. Again, about shoulder width. Weight stays close to my legs. My butt goes straight back. I don't need to come all the way up every rep. And you should feel that tension in the backside of your legs the whole time. That's super important. Make sure you're doing this right. It's slow and controlled movements, not fast. If you can only go down here, that's okay. Just go down as far as you can. Let's pick it up during these breaks right here. Last round. We only have like 4 minutes left. You can push yourself for those 4 minutes. You can do some shuffles. This is our break period, but we got calf raises next. So we need to keep our heart rate up. Again, even distribution of weight. If you need to hold on to the wall and just use one weight, that's okay. Quick on the way up, slow on the way down. There you go, feel that burn. Good job. We're moving side to side. Let's go forward and back. Whatever you want. Just start moving here. We got our sit to jumps next. It's the highest you've ever jumped in your whole life, right here. Just explode. Shift that weight from your heels to your toes. Jump straight up. Here we go. Explode. Soft landings, remember, we're sitting right back down into the chair. If you want to reset, do a squat, slow down, then jump. Stand up after your landing, or you're just doing squats here. Remember, you're going slow down though, sitting all the way back into that chair. Last 2 minutes here. Let's run it out. We got a glute bridge with our heels out. We can do that, no problem. No problem, that's easy, right? Come on. Let's get on the ground here. Our heels are far. Our glutes are squeezed. Our core is tight. Feel that in your hamstrings. Again, make sure you're evenly distributing the weight. Stay with me, keep going. Rip it out. Last round here. You're running with me. Run with me here, run with me. Last exercise. I'm gonna get my chair ready. I'll show you again on this one. We got our rainbows. So again, we're gonna have to split this 50-50. Let's go ahead and get started. Full arch motion all the way around as far as you can touch both directions here. A little bit of knee bend in that standing leg. Go ahead and switch sides. If you want to bend forward more, you're going to feel more in your glute. And we're just tapping both sides. All right, good work, guys. I'm going to shut my timer off here and get back to a cool down. All right, for this cool down, we don't want to drop into it too quick. If you need to take a lap real quick, let your heart rate slow down before we get into a good stretch here. If not, let's grab opposite hand, opposite leg, if you want to support yourself on something. If not, if you want to work on your balance here, eyeball a speck on the ground and don't move from it. Curl your toes into the ground, help you balance a little bit. If you want to feel a little more, you can pivot that hip forward, pull on that arm a little more. You're going to feel this all on the front side of your leg here. A little bit of knee bend in that standing leg. Go ahead and switch sides. Good work today. Day 5. Let's do it. We're moving here. Good job keeping up this long. Whatever's getting you to come, keep using that motivation. Maybe get some other people to do a workout with you. That usually helps too. All right, I'm gonna take my chair here, show you a glute stretch. Maybe you can use your step, whatever you're using. I'm gonna go right over the top here. Push that knee down away from me as I roll over as far as I can. If this is your stretch, that's all you got today, that's totally fine. Breathe into it. As you exhale, try and sink a little deeper. Try and pivot those hips forward a little bit. I don't want you rounding out your back, but it's more of a pivot from your hips to lean forward. Switch sides here. Got some noisy hips. Push that knee away from you as I pivot forward with each breath. All right, make sure you take a little more time to stretch. Do whatever you feel your body needs today. That's it for me. I'll see you tomorrow for day 6.